But right now, let's take a closer look at this racy Italian over here. If it looks familiar, it's probably because we took it for a short introductory spin a few months back. Back then, there weren't a whole lot of people around who guessed at its famed Italian heritage when they first saw it. After all, like Ferraris and Lamborghinis, Maseratis are supposed to be outrageously sleek and expensive two-seaters. But the last car made by the Modena firm that fit that image was the Merak 3 years ago. Since then, Maserati has turned most of its attention to making this more moderately priced model, aimed at the booming sports sedan market. Of course, the BiTurbo does have seating for a family of 4, but that doesn't mean it can't offer something else, something really special.
That something special is the only 2,730-pound 2+2 you can buy that comes with a turbocharger for each row of seats. BiTurbo, then, must mean a lot of get up and go. And sure enough, the BiTurbo is one of the most impressive straight-line performers we've ever tested. From a screeching start, it managed a super-fast 15.6-second quarter mile at 85 miles per hour. With rocket sled solidity, the newest Maser also proved it has fine bottom-end capability with a 7.5-second romp from 0 to 60. Likewise, there are a few highway obstacles you shouldn't be able to put behind you. Third gear passing time is only 3.2 seconds from 40 to 55 miles per hour. But even with a top speed of 125 miles per hour, a fast Italian car is nothing new. The real challenge offered by the BiTurbo is to the well-established Autobahn cruisers in its class. The Maserati BiTurbo has been called the Italian BMW. High praise indeed, with handling that is almost, if not quite, a match. With an all-independent suspension and with super sticky P6 tires, the overall tendency is towards slight understeer with a gentle transition to oversteer as speeds increase. The tail end will come around if you lift the throttle abruptly. The manual rack and pinion steering, while a tad slow, is just right for high-speed maneuvers. It is cumbersome, however, at a more sober pace. But then the BiTurbo isn't for sissies anyway, and we rate driver control as excellent. Rounding out its speed and agility, the BiTurbo's brakes also managed quite well. Its German-made power-assisted all-disc system brought halts from 55 of an extremely brief 100 feet. Premature lockup was minimal, as was fade, and the last of 6 test stops was as secure as the first. But as always, the main attraction for this sedan is under the hood. Here we have another uniquely Italian solution to gas pedal boredom. It's a compact 2.5-liter all-aluminum 185 horsepower V6 fed by 2 small turbochargers. 2 turbos help a V-type engine reach maximum boost quicker than 1. The result is little turbo lag during acceleration. The total of 11 pounds of boost is controlled by a Saab APC-like anti-knock system, which also allows the use of regular gas when necessary. Maserati also chose to keep the fuel system simple by the use of a single Weber 2-barrel carburetor. Even the choke is manual, again giving the driver maximum control over the car. Since Maserati is no stranger to manufacturing sedans, the current high-rolling Quattroporte 4-door traces its heritage back to 1960, we expected the rest of the BiTurbo to also be a work of art. Outside, kinship with the Quattroporte is obvious, but without that battleship size. Wheelbase is 98.9 inches, overall length under 14 feet. That's a bit smaller than a 300 series BMW. To the casual observer, the car even might go unrecognized if it weren't for that unmistakable Maserati grille. After all, an arrow-like bobtail shape is now found on even the lowest-ranking econoboxes. Overall fit and finish are good, but judging from other Italian cars, we think a thorough rust-proofing is a good idea. While the interior also resembles the megabuck Quattroporte, some compromises were made to hold the BiTurbo to a $26,000 base price. Although leather is used on all seat cushion tops, everything else is covered in excellent stitched vinyl. And despite the dash having some of the best-looking fake veneer we've ever seen, its rough, exposed edges were too much of a giveaway. Also, despite both in and out and up and down adjustments to the steering wheel, the spread-legged, long-armed Italian driving position still prevails. Instrumentation is also good and complete, but can be partially blocked depending on how the steering wheel is positioned. At least the Speedo is some psychological comfort. It goes to 160. The BiTurbo's 5-speed gearbox has a pattern like a Porsche 928's. First gear is down on the left. However, we got used to it here much quicker. The rear seats also look inviting, and the fact that there's not much legroom is expected in a 2+2 configuration. At least whoever's in back can have privacy, thanks to this nice touch rear window shades. Other little features we appreciate include a door sill mounted trunk release and a well thought out trunk, complete with a tool case. The full-size spare takes up no luggage space since it drops down quickly from underneath, thanks to one of the easiest cranks we've ever used. Of course, overall efficiency may not be a strong BiTurbo selling point, but we can't complain too much about our 20-mile-per-gallon test loop, given the powerful performance of the car. So, half exotic and half sedan, we think the BiTurbo represents a terrific compromise for the serious driver, and one affordable for those making under 6 figures. Plus, it's not just a limited effort either. Maserati hopes to sell 5,000 BiTurbos in the U.S. this year, with a 4-door model, convertible, automatic transmission, and power steering all in the works, transforming into a complete car line what is already one of the world's best sports sedans.